Confucius, one of the most well-known philosophers to ever live, he remains a key figure in Chinese and Far Eastern culture to this day. His teachings influenced the religion of Confucianism, which remains one of the oldest and largest religions, not just in China, but around the world as well. Hello everyone, welcome to Top 10 History, your hub for historical lists and amazing history facts. Today, we're going to go over the top 10 amazing facts about Confucius. Make sure to watch until number 1 because the number 1 fact that we chose about the Chinese philosopher might shock you. Before we begin, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel with notifications on because we release a new historical top 10 list every single day. Also, make sure to smash that like button. Alright, let's get right into the video. His hometown. So most of us know that Confucius is Chinese, but where exactly in China is this legendary philosopher from? Well, that would be the city of Khufu. Surprisingly, the city of Khufu is home to another great Chinese sage, besides Confucius. A sage named Mencius was also born in Khufu. As a result, many memorials, temples, cemeteries, and other sites were constructed in order to honor the legendary sages who used to inhabit the town. These sites quickly became a popular tourist destination. Some of these sites include the Temple of Confucius, the Kong family mansion, and the Cemetery of Confucius. So where is Khufu? It's definitely not too well known of a place if you don't live in China. Khufu is located in southwest Shandong, which is about a 2-hour drive from Jinan, the capital of the Shandong province where the city is located. He was schooled in multiple arts. It is without any possible doubt that Confucius was one of the most intelligent beings of his time, if not one of the most intelligent humans to ever exist. While he was in school, he studied 6 different fields. That's like going to college and enrolling in 6 different majors. The 4 different studies that he spent most of the focus on were archery, arithmetic, charioteering, and ritual and calligraphy. A very impressive workload. But wait, that's not all. The 2 other fields that he also studied were poetry and history, making a total of 6 professional fields that he studied while in school. It's no wonder that the world looks up to him as one of the leading minds and scholars of the world, and you can see it in his teachings and in his philosophy that he has a wide range of understanding and is extremely knowledgeable in multiple fields of study. He started teaching at age 24. Now this one doesn't seem too unusual, since even today, future educators graduate from college usually at around 22 years old and begin their journey as educators. But anyway, Confucius did start teaching at a young age of 24 years old, which was the year 527 BC. At the same time, the Chinese government was very corrupt, which bothered Confucius greatly. He made it his mission in education to mold the youth properly so that they could be great leaders in the future. He wanted the future leaders to be just and have integrity, and those were the values in which he instilled on those he taught. He also stressed the leaders can convince their followers to obey the law by teaching integrity and virtue, rather than teaching through punishment and consequence. He was such a passionate teacher that he offered his services to everyone regardless of how much they paid, as long as his students demonstrated a strong work ethic. He's a true role model to educators everywhere. Number 7. The kindness principle. Confucius was a very down-to-earth kind of person, and a lot of his teachings were based on the principles of kindness, loving others, and generosity. And this kindness principle became his primary principle in which all of his other teachings is based off of. He also made a really excellent point and stressed it in his teachings that kindness is universal and anyone can practice it. It doesn't matter your social status, your wealth, or your position of power. No matter who you are, you can practice kindness. Have you ever heard the phrase, treat others the way you want to be treated? Well, this originated from Confucius with the phrase, people should not do to others what they do not wish to be done to them. This came to be known as the Golden Rule. This was the main principle of his social teachings, which is one of his biggest areas of teaching, the other being political teachings. Number 6. The 5 Classics of Confucianism. You would think that something called the 5 Classics of Confucianism would obviously be written by Confucius himself, right? Well, that's what Chinese tradition would lead you to believe. If you ever wanted to be any kind of scholar in China, you would be required to read the 5 classics. These classics were the Book of Changes, the Classic of Poetry, the Book of Rites, the Book of History, and the Spring and Autumn Annals. And it was believed for the longest time that the 5 classics were penned by Confucius himself. However, today's scholars believe otherwise. Due to a few factors, modern scholars don't think that it could have been possible for Confucius to have penned this book. Unfortunately, the ultimate truth will forever be a mystery of who actually penned the 5 classics of Confucianism. Unfortunately, like most things in history, that will have to remain a mystery. Number 5. The popularity of Confucianism. Confucianism is an extremely popular religion in Eastern Asia as well as around the world. However, the religion didn't become popular until after his death. Confucius actually didn't think he made enough of an impact on the people around him, and he left the world a little bit unsatisfied and unfulfilled. But little did he know that he would inspire billions of people over time. About 100 years following his death, the Chinese considered Confucius to be a sage, and he went down in history as an extremely important figure and philosopher. During the first Han Dynasty, Confucius's philosophy became the principal ideology in the land. Eventually, his followers organized and spread the religion of Confucianism, which became the largest and oldest religion in China even to this day. It is kind of ironic that Confucius did not believe that he made a big impact on the world, but his teachings inspired the ideology of empires as well as inspired one of the largest religions in the world. If only he knew. His cemetery was rebuilt 13 times. Following Confucius' death, a funeral ceremony was held at his death was greatly mourned by those whose lives he had impacted. One of the most well-known memorials to Confucius was the Confucius Cemetery. One of the most famous Chinese writers of all time, Guo said that the Cemetery of Confucius is one of the best nature museums and preserves the annals of Confucius' family. However, the cemetery did not have a history of being durable, since Confucius' cemetery has been rebuilt 13 times. And these repairs have been ordered by emperors of the many different dynasties that ruled over China throughout the centuries. And the rebuilding of the cemetery by the different dynasties has told historians a lot about the changes in Chinese policy, culture, funeral traditions, as well as economic policy. But something that is undisputed regardless of all the changing dynasties is that Confucius was deeply respected by all future leaders and dynasties. Confucius' descendants lived in a mansion. As previously mentioned, Confucius was deeply respected in Chinese culture for centuries to come. In a token of respect, Confucius' descendants were granted the luxurious Kong family mansion in honor of the great philosopher. His descendants were even given the title Yanxingong, which translates to Sage of Development. In addition, just containing the legacy of one of the greatest philosophers of all time, it also was home to a number of precious artifacts such as holy relics, poetry, books, royal instruments, calligraphies of emperors, and other precious items. And this was all done in honor of Confucius. Storing important items with the legacy of one of the most influential Chinese leaders was all meant as a gesture of respect. The mansion itself is on par with traditional Chinese design, with a front hall divided in 3 sections, one for work, one for reception, and one for entertainment, and then a living room in the back for day-to-day living. Number 2, the most renowned temple in China. One of the most renowned and important temples in all of China was dedicated to Confucius. I'm speaking, of course, of the Temple of Confucius, which is located in Confucius' birthplace in Khufu. The temple became one of the greatest memorials to Confucius, being that he influenced billions of people over time in China, Korea, Japan, Vietnam, and other countries around the world. The temple was actually built on top of the site where Confucius' home used to be. It truly is a magnificent and majestic display, and it is one of the most significant monuments in all of China. There are a lot of temples dedicated to Confucius all over China, but the temple in Khufu is by far the most famous of them all. He has an annual festival dedicated to him. When we said that Confucius was celebrated and respected for centuries to come, we really meant it. One of those symbols of celebration and respect is an annual festival that is dedicated to him every year in Khufu. Officially, it is known as the Khufu International Confucius Culture Festival. At this festival, there is music, dancing, festivities, and an overall celebration in honor of the ancient philosopher. There is also group worshipping ceremonies where followers of Confucius gather to honor and praise Confucius. There is no doubt in anyone's mind that Confucius made a colossal impact on lives for hundreds of generations, and as a result, is one of the most respected figures to ever live. Did these facts shock you? Make sure that you subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss out on more amazing historical facts and much more. And if you like this video, check out this next video on the 10 amazing facts about the Inca. Alright, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.